Hi everyone, so this video is in specifically for the cheap kind of, not cheap, that's a bit of an understatement. Basically none of this is unique. One is Too Faced, but you can use other it's just the colours I have in the palette that I want to do for this look. The rest of it is all actually from Amazon, and the one is it's called Lash Splash, and I'm using it because I got it in a glossy box, and it's got a bit of everything in there. So basically the rest of it is going to be all from the Amazon bag. If you guys remember, I bought a makeup bag that came with a load of brushes, and this bag was completely full of all different makeup. That's what I'm going to be using, or that's what I'm aiming to use. So all of these stuff are cheaper used, but that doesn't matter. If you've got a good skincare routine and you remove your makeup at the end of the night, you will have a good base if you follow roughly what I'm doing. The only thing that I would say is a must to buy that is a bit more expensive, but it lasts a long time and it is really worth it, is the rose water. Now this baby does absolutely everything. This is unique, but it absolutely does everything. It's an antiseptic, it's anti-inflammatory, it tones your skin, it's a setting spray. You can use it to moisten your sponges, to blend your makeup in and set it at the same time. Honestly, even if you get bitten, everything you can think of, I pretty much use for this. I even use it for getting tan. I use it, I spray it out, and I sit in the sun and I actually get tan. And then afterwards, I spray it all over my red if I've got any redness, and it gets rid of that as well. So it's a definite must. I know they're not the cheapest, but it lasts a long time because a little bit does go a long way, and it's so versatile that it is my only thing that out of everything, this would be my only thing that I couldn't go without. So even when it comes to removing your makeup, sorry, keep going out of shot. I do love the Younique wet wipes, because even at the very last wet wipe, it's still wet. Plenty of product on it. However, simple, double pack, Superdrug, £3, just as good if you use makeup often, and in general need some sort of strong but sensitive wipe for any areas. Let's just leave it at that. It helps. So the foundation is Cycling, so we're going to be using that, but let's start with a primer. So this is all matte pore invisible face primer. This is the one that I got in the bag. The bag was £20. It came with like a set of 5 lipsticks, a set of 5 lip glosses, came with absolutely everything. So this is what the primer looks like out of the box. That's what the box looks like. So we're going to go ahead. Like I said, you don't need to have all expensive products. If I can get any out. I think you've got to pump it a bit. I haven't used it yet. Just got to give it a good old bit of pumps. Sorry about this. I like the applicator on it though, even though it's not coming out. It's got like a curved applicator, so you could literally just like, rather than on your skin, which is good. So just trying to get it out first. Ooh, okay. It works. So a lot of people make the mistake when they put, ow, I'm going to let you guys look after that for me. when you put primer on, people think that you need to have a really moist, wet finish before you can put your makeup on. That's not true. Ideally, you want almost dry, because the primer needs to seep into your skin. And this one is very thick, I'll tell you that much. It's not greasy, but it's got like a good, I don't know, yeah, that's got a nice coverage on it. I like that. And it's not wet, it's just, yeah, it's drying really quick, which is great. Okay, so here we go with the rose water. We are using the rose water to moisten the sponge. This will help set the foundation, and it'll also help just be able to spread it. I haven't used any of these products before, so they're all needing pumping. So I'm just going to take the pump out, put a load on my hand. Okay. So you can see it's very thick. I have used this once, and it is in the video of the stuff that I did for that Amazon delivery, which is what this is from. And instead of like spreading it, apart from getting it off your lip, you dab it in. This means it's going exactly where it needs to go. It's not going to have those fine lines that you get. It is a little bit lighter than my tan, but that's not important. The point is, it's covering very well. You can see exactly where I'm putting it because it is a little bit lighter than my tan. You can see, I'm trying to do just half my face, but you just want to dab it into place. That gets rid of all the fine lines, and with the setting, with the rose water on it, it makes it like set straight away, which is perfect. So I definitely took too much out because I only used a little bit on this side and it's all covered. So, and this side's got a bit on it, but so yeah, so it's nice. You can see the coverage, which I like actually, because now you can see that it is covering really, really well. And I remember this did, when I used it in my video, it did last a long time, and it does actually match my natural skin tone without the tan, which is why it's a bit light now. It's because I've got a bit more tan on. So you can see it's even, there's no like little lines from the brushes, etc. Just the mark from my Oxygen, so I'm just going to put a little extra here. So it's buildable as well. This is what I'm doing now, I'm testing it and it's buildable, so that's another pro. Okay, so you can have the option of spraying a little bit more, and you can see how much a little bit goes a long way. That was 2 sprays, nice mist, it's not going to mess anything. So now I had a couple of options. I'm sorry, I've got to put my Oxygen back on. So I had a couple of options in the Amazon gift bag. I had 2 different primers, which are, concealers, which are 2 different shades, 2 and 4 there. And then I also had this, which is Colour Geometry. And this is a 2-in-1 bronzer concealer, which is perfect. So we're going to go straight for the bronzer side, which is a nice, smooth, silky stick. And remember, when you do your bronzer, you want to go from this little part of your ear to the corner of your lip, leaving a gap between your finger. So there. My tan is a bit dark, so it's probably not gonna, it's gonna have a couple of coats going on. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see that. And see if I can see it better this side. Yeah, you can. You can see it better this side, look. So you can put the stick on and then blend it in afterwards. So do the side of your nose, because this adds, and then you want to do a little bit here. I do the whole of my forehead because I've got a big forehead. And I do it all here because I want to define the jawline. And I want to get rid of that double chin look as much as possible, which that does. So now I'm going to take the same beauty blender and I'm just going to using the other side. Bearing in mind, this side has the foundation on, this side it hasn't. So it's just blending the product, not getting rid. Which is why you can still see it. Like that. So now we're going to use the other side of this stick. Okay. Don't know where that lid come off. Oh, it come off the concealer. The primer. So now we're using the concealer. So again, this is going to be a little bit light compared to the rest of me, but I'm already a bit lighter because the tan is darker. So concealer. I like to use concealer all over my lid. And the Younique concealer does do a really good job as a primer. So I'm hoping this will do the same thing. It also helps define your brows, especially if you haven't had them plucked in a couple of weeks. And then your nose. And then you can either do like a little bit of a umbrella shade here. And then just on the edge. So now I'm going to take a different beauty blender and spritz it just a little bit. And then I'm just going to work that in. And you're just dabbing it, pushing it inwards so it all goes in. And by doing this, if you have any fine lines, or as you know, this group is for people with hooded eyes as well, pushing it in like this does help prevent those fine lines and the hooded eye. It just sort of stops the lines from coming back alive, because some concealers I have used in the past, actually it's not bad for the matching the foundation, so that's good. So now I bought a setting powder for my tan, which I also use for my makeup. It was £8, £8.99, something like that, on Etsy. It smells smells like grandma's cookies. I think that's what it's called, grandma's cookies. It literally smells like cookies, like a proper grandma had made them. I like to use both for my tan and for this, and I press it all in on under eye concealer. And that just doubles to help get those fine lines showing up. And you're just going to take any brush. It doesn't really matter what brush you can use. You can use a brush like this, or you can use a little fan brush and just blow away any excess of that setting powder, because otherwise that's baking it. If you're baking it, it can kind of like move in union with each other. So whereas if you set it and get rid of the excess, it just holds it in place. That's the easiest way I can explain it. And then I'm just going to blend my nose out a bit, because that bit I didn't do with the sponge. There we go. For the rest of my makeup, I will finish it with that. Now, I got a couple of options for you. We can either go to use, so if you wanted to use this palette, you can use the blush and you can use the highlighter. Well, you've got two blush options, or you can pick this up, which is Zemby. Again, I got this in the glossy box. Average price about £15, so it's not the cheapest, but it's like a cream, so you can double it up as a lippy, and you can also use it as a bit of an eyeshadow. But we're not going to use that one. We're going to use this one. And I'm going to go in with the brighter red. And I'm going to go up here into the hairline, blend it out. Picked up a bit too much, but that's fine. There we go. So I picked up a bit less this time, which is why it's much better. And bring it into the bronzer like that. And then that, I just need to it's just because of my oxygen, it's just gone. So because this side's a bit more, I'm just gonna dab a little. There we go. Okay, so that's all the really cheap makeup. And then to finish it off, this is exactly the same as the Unique one. Exactly the same in every single way. The only difference is it's Avon and it's about a £5. So you've got brush, just like the Unique one, exactly the same as the Unique one. And then you've got an angle of a triangle of the pen, which you use to fill your brows in. Draw a line. So if you're not confident or you're shaky, lean on a surface and you can draw a straight line really easily that way. And you just fill in the middle. And then you bring the brush around and just bring your brows back to life, as well as spreading that product through. So very quick, very simple, and much cheaper than the Unique one. The only difference is the Unique one is vegan. It's also not tested on animals. It has better ingredients, which doesn't get anybody, well, say anybody, majority of people do not have allergic reactions to, compared to this one. And it's exactly the same otherwise, shape and everything. Spin it round. We're going to bring our brows back to life and just blend the product through like so. So that is all quick and easy and simple. So now I'm using two shades. It's basically like a highlighter with just a tiny bit of brown, and the other shade is a dark brown to do the eye look that you girls requested. So ideally you could use like a bronzer that's dark. If you've got like, I don't know, you can pick up these sort of things like the bronze highlight and like two different shades bronzers, things like that. You can use that, and you can use any eyeshadow palette really that has the two shades. The only problem is the only one I've got to hand tonight is my Too Faced one. My Too Faced chocolate edition one. So I'm using this shade here, which is like a cream nude, and then we're using the brown, the dark brown, and then keeping it simple. You only really need 3 kind of brushes, but then at the same time you need 5 because 2 of them are 2-in-1. So you got your blending brush. Now there's a couple of tricks I'm going to teach you with this one. And then you've got a rounded brush, which we'll definitely use. The angle, the liner brush, which we need. I am using this sponge applicator brush just to put a bit of highlight in the corner, and then I've got another one that's an angled blending shadow brush there. So we start with the blending brush. Now if you are going loosey-goosey, as in you're putting it all over, you can handle it at the end and it'll be nice and easy and flimsy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick up this light tan colour and we're going to put it all over the lid. So we don't need to hold it tight. We just need to let it do its thing, blend it out. And we're not holding it too tight so it can kind of do its own thing. And then we're just building it up on the lid itself, just because in the photo she's got a nice highlighted lid. So we're just going to put that extra bit here. And remember, you can always build it up. It's a lot harder to take it away. So just let it blend it all out. So you do windshield wipers and you do circular motions. So again, remember, keep building it up until you're happy with how it looks. Okay, so now we're going to pick up, when we pick up the blending brush in a minute, I'm going to do the liner first, but then we're going to pick up the blending brush, but we're going to hold it really, really close. This will give it full control over where that brush goes, okay? So going in with the liner brush, we're going in with the dark chocolate, we are going to make our line. Our line goes something like, remember, this group is also for hooded eyes, so you want to go above your crease line, just enough for it to be seen. So you want to start here, and you want to just gently dab that line while you've got full control of it. Don't go too aggressive. This is just marking it where you want it, because now you can make corrections. In a minute you can't. And we're just flicking it out at the side there. So we're going to do the same the other side. I know it doesn't look much like the picture right now, but once we're finished, it really will. Trust the process. Like so. And then we're going to get the blending brush, not putting more product on, but we're just going to gently, from the top, gently blend that upwards. Okay, then we're going to go back over and really, really make this line pop. Doing it this way helps you building it up slowly, but you're more in control. So yes, it's a longer video. However, you get the look you want. And then we're going to use the other side of the brush, this flathead. I'm going to pick up a little bit more product, just a tiny bit. And then we're just going to thicken that line just slightly. And bring it right into the crease here. There we go. And then we're just going to go once more over the line. And then we are going in with the black. So I'm just going to clean the brown off the brush. And we are going in with the black. And we're going to do the bottom. The way you want to do the bottom, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little bit of a gap in the middle here. So you want to go, I'll show you this side, you want to go so it matches with the corner of your eye. And then you want to bring it across onto your eyeshadow eye line. Like so, and then fill in any little gaps that might be there right in the corner. And then you can bring it across. Like so. So that is all the really easy makeup. And then I'm just going to finish with some tatty lashes. And I'm also going to finish with Avon's Lip Tattoo lipstick. And just to finish my eye look up just a little bit more, I'm going to grab any highlighter. This is just so happens to be an eyeshadow highlighter, but you can use an actual highlighter palette for this as well. With a sponge, it's perfectly angled, so you can literally just go like that. And it just makes the whole eye look pop. you can do under your eyes. However, big warning, I've got little eyes compared to the rest of my face. So if I put dark under eyes, my eyes look even smaller. Whereas if I was to put a light shade, it would be okay. Or a white, it would widen my eyes. So be careful on that, okay? Now we're going to go in with the Tatty Lash. So I'm actually using these, which are from Poundland, okay? Because I wanted to commit to this commitment for you. They're actually from Poundland. The glue is from Tatty Lash, but it's like £6. So we are working on a budget here. And we're going to go make sure it's a nice thick, not on my lash, line as close as possible to your lashes. But you want to be able to kind of see it. I don't know if you can see it on this video, but I can see it in the mirror. So let me see if I can show you here. It's a bit too thick. There we go. There we go. And then you kind of want to wait a minute for that to get tacky. And I don't have applicator. Yes, I do. I thought I didn't have applicator then. I was going to panic. Right, so I'm going to quickly get the makeup wipe, the Simple. And I'm going to quickly wipe this foundation off of me before I get it anywhere else. Like so. There we go. And then I'm going to get the lipstick that I showed you. It's a 2-in-1 lipstick. So you've got a pen, looks like a normal pen. And then you've got a thicker pen, okay? So you can do a decent line, nicely, and neat with a thin one. Perfect for your Cupid's bow. Like that, and then put the lid back on, flip it around and we can fill it in. So it fills in nicely. Doesn't help, I've got foundation on my lips. Like so. And then you can add like a lip gloss or something if you wanted to. So now I'm going to get the lashes. Now these are like the angled ones, so my lashes are actually a bit longer than the front of these, but it's fine. They'll still show on the end. It'll just be more defined at the front. So the idea is you want to kind of grip it towards the front, but in the middle, like that. And then you want to measure it up. Oh, not let go, actually. That's the top tip. Don't let go. You line it up. And let go again. And push it in the middle when you're ready to put it down. You can push it down and then comb it through with your lashes like so. Nice, quick and easy, and it just gives that extra boost. So now I'm going to grab the other one. Trying to grip it, there we go. Okay, so the same on the other side. You're going to put it behind your lashes, line it up, push in the middle, push at the end, and then push at the end, and then you're just going to press it if it's not quite stuck everywhere, like so, and then there we are. All I'm going to finish off with is an extra bit of the rose water as a setting, and that is me done. Hope you like this video, and yeah, lots of love.